13 on your sidelines. Sponsored by Rand Insurance Group. A better path forward.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Sidelines Plus, your home for all the biggest West Michigan sports stories you may have missed from this past week. I'm Matt Gard alongside Jacob Seus and Maddie Monroe. Here's what's coming up on the program this week. A West Michigan native taking a swing at making it to one of the most prestigious golf events ever. Plus, a couple of players with local ties, Isaac Tesla and Ian Kennelly, continue their dreams of playing for the Lions. And the tush push, will it stay or will it go? And how did the Lions vote? But first, Jacob, the Muskegon Lumberjacks, they are the biggest story in local sports right now after winning their first Clark Cup in franchise history. We were on pins and needles watching it in the newsroom last night.
Yeah, Game 5 against Waterloo. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. Comes down to the final game, so let's check out the highlights. Shika Gadziev, he's been so good in these playoffs, but this was the biggest game he's ever played. Lumberjacks, though, give him some breathing room early. Tynan Lawrence, 3-on-2, gets the first goal. Big momentum swinging tally, but they weren't done in the first period. Jacks don't look like they have much here, but Jack Krishko's blocker side, get used to hearing that name. It was 2-0 after 1, but Waterloo gets it all back in the second. The Jacks lead down to 2-1 when Reed Morich, wide open in the slot, beats Gadziev. This one would head to the third, even at 2, but the Jacks take the lead back. Good things happen when you get the puck to the net. Krish buries the rebound, his second of the night. Muskegon back in front, but Waterloo ties it. For the third straight game, these two would need overtime. 1 goal for the whole darn thing, and you'll never guess who gets the winner. Jack Christ in front of the net scores the biggest goal in Muskegon Lumberjacks history. He doesn't only complete the hat trick, but he gets the overtime winner. And the Jacks, for the first time, they are the Clark Cup champions. Muskegon takes down Waterloo 4-3 in overtime.
Pretty happy. You know, all the credit in the to Waterloo, their coaching staff, their players, their fans, everything they brought. But our guys were able to stick with it. It was a great series. All these people, man, it's for them, and couldn't be more happy.
Oh, it's amazing. I mean, I can barely even hear right now. My ears are shot. This place is unreal. It just feels so good to finally win one.
A trophy coming back to Muskegon, and a season that will go down in history. Heck of a year for those Lumberjacks, guys. They are the Clark Cup champions.
Amazing effort on the road, but Maddie, a group of folks in Muskegon did find a way to watch the game together.
Yeah, Matt, even though Trinity Health Arena was empty for Game 5, the surrounding restaurants were not. Dressed in flannel, dozens of people filled the tables and bar at Rad Dad's Tacos in Muskegon to cheer on their home team. Hoping for a Game 5 win, fans say coming to watch the game at the arena is an exciting way to end an already historic season.
The fact that we're still playing hockey right now in May is pretty amazing and made it this far. There's a lot of seasons that get cut short, and so just to get a chance to see some more Muskegon Lumberjacks action and see all the fans come, and you know, it helps the team out too to have some more games. So it's just so proud of these guys and how far they've come, and just giving us great hockey to watch.
Win or lose, Lumberjacks lovers say watching the team make it this far has been a great opportunity to bring the Muskegon community together.
I've been a Lumberjacks fan my whole life. I think it's huge just for the city, like for the turnout that came out to the last 2 games here in the final, like for how many fans and how loud it was. I think it's just kind of hyped back up the crowd again in the city of Muskegon for hockey.
For people that don't know, Rad Dad's Tacos is actually
inside the
Trinity Health Arena.
I've always wondered, can you just go to the restaurant?
Yeah.
So you could sneak
You're
in,
right.
get a taco, and
you
get
can't
some
sneak
hockey.
in.
You can
I was
see the
watching,
game, but you can't sit in the stands.
You don't need a ticket, though, to get into Rad Dad's.
Right.
Correct.
Okay.
However, there is someone at the end of the hallway at Rad Dad's taking tickets to get into the game. So a lot of people will do their pre-gaming at Rad Dad's and then walk into the arena.
And Maddie, you saw it Tuesday night at the watch party, and you saw it in games 3 and 4 too. It's a passionate fan base. I mean, they show up and they're ready to cheer on their team. And let's be real. The Lumberjacks don't have the biggest fan base in the state when you're looking at all the big teams we have. But the people that love them, the people that show up, they are passionate.
It was very easy to spot who was a Lumberjacks fan and who was just there for dinner, because every Lumberjacks fan had on their red flannel, they had on their gear, they were super excited. They were trying really hard to get the game on all of the TVs, and when they finally did it, everybody cheered. It was a super fun time.
And if you weren't a Lumberjacks fan, maybe you just showed up for Taco Tuesday, and now you're a forever Jacks person.
Yeah.
Absolutely. They're getting more people in the door. Jacob, you have been to multiple games throughout the playoffs. You know, how did you see the fan base grow as we got closer and closer to that Clark Cup?
I mean, people just continued to get more excited when that championship was in reach. The first couple games of the playoffs, there was a strong crowd there, but it wasn't sold out. I mean, granted, those games were played in the middle of the week, but once you got into semifinal territory, and then, of course, games 3 and 4 of the Clark Cup, I mean, it was deafening in there. The fans were ready to go. Really no empty seats at all. Just in Abdelkader, Muskegon legend, Red Wings Stanley Cup champ, he was in the building for game 3 to drop the ceremonial puck. If you live in the area and maybe didn't know what was going on with the Lumberjacks before this, I mean, you certainly know now. And talk about the adversity this team faced going into the final couple games. I mean, up 2-1 in their own building, get it to overtime and lose to then have to go on the road for game 5. That's deflating. Have a 2-0 lead in the first period of game 5. Blow that 2-0 lead going into the third, that's deflating. You have a 3-2 lead in the third period, 8 minutes left, and the Black Hawks tie it. And for them to just keep going, and get that overtime winner, that's just a testament to what this team has done all season.
Yeah. And a lot of these games have gone into at least one overtime. So they've been long to start, so it's been a long series for them.
A much-deserved celebration. Congrats, Muskegon Lumberjacks. Well, he signed with the Lions as an undrafted free agent, and now he's trying to make the team. Up next on Sidelines Plus, what coaches had to say about GVSU product, Ian Kennelly.
On your sidelines. Sponsored by Rand Insurance Group. A better path forward.
Welcome back to Sidelines Plus. There are still more than 2 months before the first NFL preseason game, but you know how things go in this country. Football rules all, and Maddie, we've got a few Lions headlines that people are going to be pretty excited about.
Yeah, Matt. Unity Christian grad and Lions third-round pick Isaac Tesla has announced on social media he's officially signed his rookie deal with the team. Tesla is the 5th Lions draft pick to sign a deal with just Tate Ratledge to go. The deal is for 4 years, worth $6.6 million, with a $1.4 million sign-on bonus. The Lions were on the field this week for off-season workouts, with the OTAs set to begin at the end of next week.
At the same time, Grand Valley State product Ian Kennelly made a strong impression when he took the field in Honolulu Blue last weekend. Last season at GVSU, Kennelly had 64 tackles, 3 picks, you're seeing one of them right here, 6 pass breakups, signed by the Lions as an undrafted free agent. He looks to be the next Laker to make it to the NFL. Lions safety coach Jim O'Neill says they believe Kennelly can be a player that helps this team.
We're like, who is this kid? And then we went back and we watched some of the tape, and some of the stuff we saw at the local day was showing up physical, you know, could run, could obviously track the ball. When we're in the position drills, you can see the athletic ability. You can see him track a ball. So he's a great developmental player right now that I'm hoping develops into a damn good player for us.
Really cool, Jacob, to see him go from Lubbers Stadium to potentially Ford Field.
Yeah, you know, all the coaches talked about that they showed up to GVSU's Pro Day, which a lot of the teams around the GLIAC and showed up at, and you heard Jim O'Neill say it there. They didn't know who Ian Kennelly was. I mean, and you can't blame them. They're not out here watching GVSU games, but they saw him at Pro Day, and they were so impressed that they wanted him after the draft, signed him as an undrafted free agent, and then what he did in rookie minicamp now has this team thinking, wow, I mean, we could actually use this guy. So now he has a chance to go to training camp and compete for a roster spot, and then you have our other local guy, Isaac Tesla. Man, what is he going to do with that first paycheck that comes in?
That's crazy.
That's a lot of money.
It's almost as close to the signing bonus we get.
Almost.
Crickets.
Almost.
Crickets. And on that, boom, we have some pretty big NFL ruling updates that came down this week. The Eagles' signature tush push, it's a big controversy. It's going to stay. The league needed 24 votes to ban this near unstoppable play. They got 22. The Lions were one of the teams that said, no, we're good. You can keep it, because Dan Campbell said back in March, we're not going to take away your ability to do it. We just have to find a way to stop it. And I don't know. This is a play that I go back and forth on in my brain, because one, it's not a super safe football play the way they're bashing on the line like that. The way the Eagles do it is unstoppable. It makes you think if anybody does it, it will be unstoppable. But other teams try it and they can't do it like the Eagles do.
Yeah. I don't have any really strong opinions on it, but the tush push. It's got a great name. It throws off.
The brotherly shove?
Yes.
Is another great one.
Shove. Do the Lions have a name for it?
The Eagles are the only ones that can consistently do it to that success level. So
Don't want to mess with Philly.
If you can do it like that, then you can name it whatever you want. I don't know what the Lions would call it. The big cat.
The Motor City Move.
There you go.
That's pretty good.
There you go. I like that.
And Jacob, the Lions did have some objections with some other rules.
Yeah, so the Lions this year, they put in a submission to change the seeding of the NFL playoffs, because you'll remember last year the Lions and Vikings, they were both tied at 14 and 2 going into the final game of the season. The Lions won, but the Vikings, who were one of the best teams in the whole NFL last year, they had to go on the road. They had to be a wild card. They didn't get home field advantage. So the Lions wanted to change things up a little bit and just do it strictly based off record, but they took that submission away. The Lions did. They took their own proposal away before the rulings commission even got to it. So seeding will stay. If you win your division, you're going to get a home game.
Now that one I do have some issue with. I think if you win your division, you should be in the playoffs regardless of how the rest of the picture goes out. But man, we all know that at least one division is garbage every year, and they get home field advantage.
We've seen
first
teams
year of the
under
playoffs.
500 get a home game in the playoffs. So yeah, I could have seen that one. Not sure why the Lions took that one away, because it may have passed, but you're going to have a team under 500 maybe host another playoff game this year.
As we say in sports, there's always next year. Well, he got his start right here in West Michigan, and now he's trying to make one of the most prestigious golf tournaments in the world. Up next on Sidelines Plus, find out how this guy is trying to make history again.
"13 on your sidelines," sponsored by Rand Insurance Group, a better path forward.
Welcome back to Sidelines Plus. All our local teams are out of the Division II NCAA baseball tournament, but Maddie, one West Michigan native did shine for Davenport.
Yeah, Matt, very exciting stuff. Panthers pitcher and Grand Rapids Christian graduate Keegan Batka was named the Midwest Region Pitcher of the Year. Batka transferred over from Central Michigan, and in his final season of college baseball had a 3.09 ERA and a 91 strikeouts in 84 innings pitched. Batka was also named the GLIAC Pitcher of the Year.
Staying on the diamond, Whitecaps shortstop Isaac Pacheco has been named Midwest League Player of the Week. West Michigan took 5 of 6 in Fort Wayne, and Pacheco went crazy, hitting .474 with 6 ribbies and 5 runs and a homer. Tigers organization has been waiting for this type of production from their 2021 second-round pick, Pacheco. He's in his 3rd season in high single-A, and he's struggled to stay on the field. But at just 22 years old, he seems to have found something, and right now the Whitecaps have an impressive lead in the Midwest League's East Division standings. The Caps are 26-13. They're currently 4 games ahead of the second place Lansing Lugnuts.
Switching to hoops, Ferris State has officially introduced Bobby Petrak as the school's next head men's basketball coach. The Bulldogs announced the hire last week, and Petrak, he's a veteran at the D2 level, coming over from Fort Lewis, where he coached for the last 9 years. He led the Skyhawks to 5 NCAA tournament appearances, and this week he called it an incredible honor for not only himself, but his entire family, making the move to Ferris State.
I love when you come into town and that water tower that says Big Rapids, you'll love it here. And I do love it here. So excited about that, and just really excited to get going. Now that I'm here, I've been here truly a day and a half, and excited to embark on a new adventure and a new journey. and sky's the limit.
And after being the youngest African American to ever qualify for the U.S. Amateur Golf Championship, the West Michigan native is now taking a swing at the U.S. Open. I went to his home course to hear how he's getting ready for final qualifiers. The opportunity of a lifetime.
Well, I want to be one of the best players in the world.
And he's not throwing away his shot.
At the end of the day, how you stack up to old man par, as the saying goes, right?
Starting golf at only 6 years old, Andrew Walker already has an impressive scorecard.
I qualified for the U.S. Amateur when I was 14. And I think at the time when I first did it, I didn't really realize how big it was. You know, the best players in the world are out here competing, and you know, I'm just a little 14-year-old kid trying to go compete with them.
But now, the Battle Creek native and Michigan State grad is heading to the final round to qualify for his first U.S. Open.
Basically qualified myself for final qualifying, which is coming up on the 2nd of June, and I'll be doing that down in North Carolina.
And for him, it means more than hitting under par.
It's a huge privilege, I would say. You know, I think that's a very, you know, white-dominated sport. So to be able to kind of be a face that says, hey, diversity in this game is possible, it's a huge honor, huge privilege, and it's something I don't carry lightly.
Walker is the youngest African American to ever qualify for the U.S. Amateur Championship, and he hopes to inspire others to learn the sport.
I was lucky enough to be able to have access to the game of golf from a very young age, and that's something that's really not possible for a lot of people who look like me.
Now looking forward to qualifiers, Walker says it's a whole new ball game.
You know, at the end of the day, I'm just a kid from Battle Creek. That's why I play, you know, and see how far a kid from Battle Creek can go.
Maddie Monroe, 13 on your side.
Just a kid from Battle Creek. He is young, scrappy, and hungry. And Maddie, it is really cool to see somebody his age making history.
Yeah, absolutely. I got to talk to him a lot about, you know, how he's kind of grown through the past couple of years in playing golf. And, you know, I'm a golfer. I play a little bit here and there, but I'm nowhere close to this guy. I was watching him hit, and I was talking to him about his, like, typical 18-hole score, and I'm not even close. He's about 40 strokes below where I hit at.
How many is that before you, Jacob?
That's probably about 20 before me. But you know what? If he makes the U.S. Open and I'm a title sponsor, I want my sponsor right on that straw hat.
Yeah,
that
absolutely.
thing's unbelievable.
That was a great straw hat.
It's a great hat. Great golfer, great attire. Let's see him make the U.S. Open.
That would make a high school football coach proud.
Yeah, it would.
It would.
Dog Days of August, good hat.
Speaking of high school football, I want to draw your guys' attention to a social media post that I saw right before we got on set. Check this out. You see what that says? 100 days until high school football.
That's too many.
This is a post from West Catholic. They are opening up with Northview. Northview coming off their first conference championship in many, many years. West Catholic, of course, always good. So, hey, it is May, and we are already breaking down high school football matchups.
I'm very excited.
It did feel like 2-a-days last week. The weather outside, so maybe we're getting close, and this week has felt like October, so we're doing all the football weather.
So we've had an entire football season's worth of weather.
So we're ready to go.
Yeah. We'll have to put our complaints in with meteorologist Blake Hansen for that.
100 days.
That does it for this edition of Sidelines Plus. We'll see you again next week. Shout out to Missouri S&T.